Elisa, what are we talking about today?
Today, we are talking about the Welcome Series workflow.
Right on.
Which is one of the most important workflows that you can build. Okay. It's a way that you just introduce your brand to your people.
Right on. You know, the Welcome Series is one of the first things that I talk to customers about because it's such an important touch point in the life cycle with the customer, right? It's your chance to really take the opportunity to introduce yourself and your brand and what you're all about. To make sure that they understand what they're getting into and building a relationship with you, and then what they can expect as a customer moving forward.
Totally. It's a point where the customer is really interested in your company. They subscribe to you. They want to learn more. It's your opportunity to really introduce yourself, make yourself known, and treat it like a first date. You're getting to know them. You want to impress them. You want them to come back and form a relationship.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, okay. So it's like you're taking the long-term approach in this.
Yeah, you want a long-term relationship with
them.
This
isn't like a speed dating thing.
This is not speed dating. So at this point, customers are kind of looking at a lot of different companies, a lot of different websites. And so it's a really good opportunity for you to voice who you are, why you're great, talk about your unique value proposition, so that people are interested, want to learn more, and eventually become your customers.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. You know, and it makes a lot of sense because when we look at stats in Drip, we see that a Welcome Series performs really well. Right? Yeah, so open rates are often 4 times higher with a Welcome Series email rather than just like a regular email blast. And click-through rates are 5 times higher.
Wow.
Yeah, and you'll love this, you'll love this. And you'll love this.
And you'll love this.
Revenue is upwards of 300% higher on a Welcome Series email than a regular email that you would send through Drip.
300%?
Yeah, exactly. So that's why it's so important that you nail this. So, Elisa, what makes a great welcome strategy?
So glad you asked, Andrew. The first thing you want to do in your welcome strategy is really define your brand. Tell people about your values as a company, use your company's voice, use your branding, and just open yourself up to people. It's just like a first date. You want people to get to know you. You want them to fall in love with you. So it's pretty straightforward there.
Love that. Love that. Okay, cool. You know, when I'm talking with customers, I often also talk about focusing on products and categories that are going to be a good first purchase for them as well, right? If they haven't made a purchase, then you would want to make sure that the items that you're talking about are the right ones, right? Probably not like your highest end, biggest ticket items, but something that would give them a great experience as they just get started with you.
Right on.
Yeah. What else on your side?
So, I love a good discount, right?
Absolutely. We all do. Come on.
We all love good discounts. I'd recommend just be really strategic with your incentives in your Welcome Series. Okay. We all know that discounts push product. They work really well, but you want to be cautious with them because if you overuse them, people may expect that you're always going to give discounts. So they may not purchase anything at full price because they're waiting for that discount to come. So be strategic with it. Maybe try out some discounts, see how effective they are, and just monitor it. Make sure not to do too much, but sprinkle in a little bit because they do work really well.
God, I bet you have some strong feelings about like when in the Welcome Series you would offer those discounts too.
Of course I do.
Cool.
Yeah.
Get to that later?
Let's get to that later.
Cool. Sounds good. Another thing that I like to talk about with customers with the Welcome Series is setting positive expectations, right? We also address this in our Abandoned Cart series a little bit, but really getting ahead of some of the like barriers to purchase that a new customer might have, right? So somebody who hasn't purchased, like your return policy, right? Like they might be kind of unclear and they might not exactly want to purchase if they don't know the return policy. And then like support, that's really important to know like what kind of support they can expect to receive as part of your brand. And really what you're trying to do there is bringing down barriers and shortening that willingness to purchase curve, right?
Yeah, and that's really cool to include information on return policies and just your support policies and all that kind of stuff. And in addition to that, we totally recommend that you have social proof in your emails.
Okay.
Just having a static quote from a customer saying how awesome one of your products is can go a long way. Because we do know that 90% of consumers do look for product reviews when they're shopping online.
Wow, I know I do.
Oh yeah,
it makes
I do
a big
too.
difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that you bring up different voices in the welcome series.
Right.
A voice that I often bring up to customers as we're talking about strategy with these welcomes is actually bringing in the voice of your team. So it could be you as the marketer, could be the CMO, could be the CEO. And
totally,
right? You can give a great welcome, a personal welcome about why they started the company or why they're so passionate about the brand. And that's going to translate and get your customers excited about the brand too.
That totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Seeing a letter from the CEO in your first email, that would be amazing.
Totally.
Makes you feel like they know you, they want to get to know you, they want to support you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So Andrew, we talked a little bit about the strategy, but now let's dive into what we really recommend that our customers build when they're inside of Drip.
Cool.
Sound
right
good?
on. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
So we could take all of that stuff we just talked about and cram it into one email. But data shows that actually a series of 3 emails generate 90% more revenue than just one email.
Wow.
Right. And if you try to cram all that into one email, it's just going to be long and no one's going to read it, right?
And it makes sense. You're building a relationship. It's not just a one and done thing.
Exactly. And we're called Drip, for Pete's sake.
Drip.
Right?
Drip,
Exactly.
drip,
We're trying to drip, right? So let's talk a little bit about the content and how we would take those concepts and actually structure them into a workflow series.
Absolutely.
Cool.
So in that first email that our customers send, we want to make sure that first we thank them for subscribing and for wanting to learn more about the company. They don't have to do that. So you want to thank them for joining your community. You want to welcome them in. In that first email, you also want to define your unique value proposition. So tell them why your company is a great company. Talk about your brand a bit. Use your company voice. Let them get to know you a little bit. Just a little bit of kind of defining who you are can go a really long way. Then one more thing that you want to include in this first email is just a little note on what to expect, both from the company and from being on the email
Oh, that makes sense.
list.
Yeah, sure.
So you may want to have a note from the founder or the CEO of a company, which you talked about earlier, just talking about who the company is. And then you may want to inform people that they could expect maybe an email once a week if they continue to stay on the list.
I like that because that actually will help with email engagement over time. And if people get emails that they don't expect to get, then they're more likely to unsubscribe or even worse, mark your email as spam. And you definitely don't want that to happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Right on. So the second email.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, this one could be more about your ethos as a company, your brand. So a few things that you could hit there would be, what are your products and what makes them unique specifically? So in the first email, we talked about your brand and what makes your brand and company unique, but this one could be about your products, right? They might be, way more quality or,
eco-friendly.
Eco-friendly, yeah, things like that. So you want to highlight those things.
Right.
This is also the email where you could throw in a specific review, like you talked about, right?
Totally.
Of a specific product. That goes a long ways. And then the last thing is talking about either how your products are made, or your supply chain, or corporate social responsibility initiatives that you guys have. That's a mouthful, but those are all the things that help your customers have warm fuzzies about you and your brand. It's really important to hit those home in this welcome series.
That makes total sense.
Yep.
It's those types of things that make customers want to support you as a company.
Totally. And then people feel really good about that, right?
Yeah,
and then they say, oh my gosh, I bought from this company that does all these awesome things. And then they get to humble brag a little bit.
Totally.
And,
They're
that
and
goes
now
a long
I'm
ways
saving
too.
the world.
Yeah,
so.
exactly, right. And then I pat you on the shoulder, get your dirt off, yeah.
Yes. That's super cool. So that's really great for the second email. For the third email, I want to make it really product focused, and that's what we typically recommend. So this is a great time to use our top selling feature in our emails. In Drip, we can send emails that will automatically choose the top selling products, and you can filter that by category too. So if you really want to highlight a certain category, you can absolutely do that in this email.
Really powerful.
Absolutely. And in this third email too, you can start to have certain recommendations of products that might pair well together. So if it's a skincare company, you could say, this lotion goes really well with this toner and this face wash or whatever it may be. So it's a great time to have that product-focused email.
Yeah, it makes total sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I sneak one more email in here?
You definitely can.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, all
yeah.
right. So you mentioned incentives earlier, right? And incentives really could mean a lot of different things. The biggest incentive that people think about is a discount, right?
Yes.
So you can absolutely use a discount in the final email of your welcome series. You just want to be really savvy about that and make sure that you're not offering the moon to new customers, right? Because that might kind of miff your old VIP customers, right? Like, hey, why are they getting 50% off when I've been around forever, right?
And just like a relationship, you want to set your expectations, right?
Absolutely.
You're not always going to be giving 90% discounts.
Yeah,
so
right. Just
why
like
do it in the welcome
yeah,
series?
just like on first dates, right?
Dates,
You're not,
right.
you don't
have
want
to be realistic.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Exactly.
You know, I'd take them out for pizza, not caviar, right? Yeah.
Right. That would be ridiculous.
That would be ridiculous. So for that fourth email, figuring out the right incentive for your business is really important. So it might be discounts, might also be free shipping on the first purchase. It might be a discount or free shipping once they hit a certain cart value. It could be some sort of like free add-on. One of our customers does like a free jar of cinnamon when they order for the first time.
Yeah, which is really cool.
That's really cool, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of options there. It does take a little bit of thought on your side for the people at home to really understand your customers and your business and what's really going to be the right incentive in this welcome.